Hello, my name's Amy and I'm one of the Urban Heaths Partnership's heathland wardens here in Dorset, and tonight we're going to go on a virtual nightjar walk. For those of you that don't know, nightjars are a ground nesting bird and they travel all the way from sub-Saharan Africa to come and nest on our heathlands. One of the reasons that nightjars are so rare in the UK is that they've lost a lot of their habitat to nest, and heathland has actually declined in Dorset by 80% over the last 200 years. Nightjars arrive here from April onwards and they typically breed between May and August, laying just 2 eggs on the ground. Because they nest on the ground, they're actually really vulnerable to disturbance, which is why at this time of year you might see signs when you come onto the heath asking you to keep dogs under control or on a lead. We're out on the heathland now on a lovely still evening, and we're going to have a wander around and see what nightjars we can find and whether we can hear them calling or maybe even see them flying around. The Latin name for nightjar is Caprimulgus europaeus, and this roughly translates to goat sucker or goat milker. And the reason that this name came about was because in the old days, when people were very fearful of anything that happened in the dark at night, they would see these birds hanging around their livestock, and they believed that the birds were milking their animals dry. But what was actually happening was the birds were drawn to the insects around the dung, and they were feeding on these insects. I can see that the moths are starting to come out now, and they are the main prey item of the nightjar. Nightjars are specially adapted to eating these aerial insects. They've got a very small beak, but it opens very, very wide, and they also have these whiskery bits to the side which help to funnel the insects into its mouth. One of the other myths that surrounds the nightjar comes from the north of England, where they were known as gabble ratchets, and this comes from the belief that they were the souls of dead unbaptised children that were doomed to wander the earth forever. This looks like a good spot to stop and see if we can hear any nightjars calling. So we've got some nice tall bits of vegetation which they like to perch on to do their churring. The churring is the territorial call of the male, and its song is actually 1,900 notes per minute. Oh, I think I can hear one over there. The males are always sitting when they're doing the churring call, and if you do hear it, have a look at the vegetation around, because they may well be perching on a branch nearby. Top tip, you look like an idiot, but honestly it really works. If you cup your hands behind your ears, you can actually use them to amplify the song of the nightjar and also to pinpoint where it's calling from. Another sound to listen out for is the kiwick call, and this is often done when the bird is flying. So if you hear it, keep an eye out, because you might see it swooping past you. I can hear the kiwick, so keep an eye out. There, look. Did you see it? It's perched up there on that branch. Fantastic. Did you hear the clapping noise? So that's actually the male clapping its wings together in its display flight. Oh, I think I can hear several now actually. Listening to that call, you can understand why there's a lot of folklore surrounding it, because it is really eerie, and if you don't know what's making it, your imagination runs wild. Thanks for joining me on this nightjar walk. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and fingers crossed next time you can come in person.